Hey everyone, and welcome to today's deep dive.
Yeah.
All about maximizing your productivity with the Pomodoro Technique.
Ooh, I love this one.
It's a good one, right?
Yeah.
So many people can benefit from it, whether you are
Oh, yeah.
prepping for a big exam, or you've got a huge project at work, or
Oh, see.
even just like life stuff. Like organizing the house, this technique can help you
Yeah.
get it all done. And we're going to give you some really practical takeaways
Yes, we are.
today that you can use right away.
Love it.
Now, one of the things that I thought was really interesting in the research for this was
Yeah.
it seems like the Pomodoro Technique is viewed as not just time management,
Right.
but like a pathway to confidence and clarity in achieving your goals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that people may not realize until they really get into it is that like the timer is just one piece of it. It's really like a whole mindset shift.
Yeah, that's super interesting. So have you ever tried time blocking?
I have. Yeah.
How does the Pomodoro Technique compare to that?
I think they complement each other really well because time blocking is great for like looking at your day and seeing what you have available.
Sure.
But then when you get into like one of those blocks
Right.
and you want to really like maximize your focus, that's where Pomodoro comes in. Because it's like those intense work sessions
Yeah.
with strategic breaks that like actually help you work better
Yeah.
instead of just powering through for hours and hours and getting burned out.
So the Pomodoro Technique, at its core, you are
Yeah.
working in these 25-minute chunks
Yes.
called Pomodoros.
That's right.
And then you take short breaks in between.
Yes.
But why is this so effective? Like, it seems so simple.
It is deceptively simple,
Right.
but it's all based on how our brains work. Like our attention spans naturally kind of go up and down.
Oh, yeah.
And we can't just force ourselves to focus for hours and hours at a time.
Right.
Like you said, we get burnt out. The beauty of the Pomodoro technique is it kind of works with your brain's natural rhythms
Yeah.
by giving you those mental breaks.
That makes sense. But now the counter argument to that would be...
Yeah.
When you're in a flow state,
Right.
doesn't breaking it up actually hurt that?
Yeah, a lot of people worry about that. But the interesting thing is the research actually shows the opposite. Like, those short breaks actually act as like a reset button for your brain.
Okay.
So you come back to the task feeling more refreshed and even more creative in some cases.
Mhm.
And, you know, like a lot of creative people swear by the Pomodoro technique, like writers and musicians, designers, entrepreneurs, they're all using it because it really does help.
I've got to admit, like when I first heard about this, I thought, 25 minutes?
Yeah.
Is that even enough time to do anything?
Right.
But then I tried it and I was really surprised by how much I could
Yeah.
get done in those little chunks. And then it was almost like a reward
Yeah.
to have the break come.
Yeah.
You're like, yes.
You have those little mini celebrations.
Yeah, exactly. So let's give our listeners some real world examples
Okay.
because we all have those times where we feel totally overwhelmed
Oh, yeah.
or like drowning in work.
Let's say you're like drowning in emails and meetings
Mhm.
and just deadlines. How can the Pomodoro technique help with that?
I think instead of just reacting to everything that's coming at you all day long, it empowers you to take control and be like, okay, I'm going to block out 25 minutes right now to focus on just this one task.
Okay, so it's like carving out
It is.
little pockets of sanity
Totally.
in your day. Yeah,
And you can actually get more done when you have that intention.
you do, because you're not multitasking. You're not switching between things. You're just laser focused.
Okay. Now, another scenario. We've all been there,
Oh, yeah.
cramming for an exam,
Oh, absolutely.
staring at your textbook.
Yep.
Could the Pomodoro technique be a student's secret weapon?
Oh, for sure. Because instead of just passively reading for hours, which like leads to mental fatigue,
Right.
and you don't remember anything anyway.
Zone out.
You totally zone out. This way, you're engaging with the material in those focused bursts,
Yeah.
and then you have those breaks to let everything sink in.
Yeah, it's like interval training.
It is. For your brain.
I love that analogy.
Okay, let's shift gears to something a little more creative.
Okay.
I know you mentioned you're working on a novel.
I am. Yeah,
Could the Pomodoro technique help with something like that?
definitely. It can be so helpful for any kind of creative project, whether it's writing,
Okay.
painting, composing music, anything.
But isn't 25 minutes too short?
You'd think so,
Yeah.
but it can actually be just what you need to get over that initial hurdle of procrastination
Okay.
and get into that flow state.
Yeah.
And then remember, you have those breaks for those aha moments.
Yeah. Okay. This is really making me rethink how versatile this can be.
It is.
But let's face it, not all tasks are created equal.
True.
What about those dreaded household chores.
I know, but even something like cleaning can benefit from Pomodoro.
Really? Like clean the bathroom?
I know. Doesn't sound fun.
Oh.
But instead of feeling overwhelmed by a messy house, you can just set a timer for 25 minutes.
Okay.
Focus on like one small area or one specific task.
So it's like, okay, this Pomodoro, I'm just tackling the kitchen counter.
That's it. Exactly. And you'd be surprised how much you can get done.
Okay. So we've given some examples of how the Pomodoro technique can work.
Yeah.
But let's give our listeners some really concrete takeaways.
Just let's do it.
Things they can do
Actionable steps.
right now
Absolutely.
to make this work for them.
So the first thing is to remember that the 25 minutes is just a guideline. You can adjust it to your own needs and preferences.
So it's your productivity journey. You set the pace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And another tip, pay attention to your energy levels throughout the day and use the Pomodoro technique to kind of figure out when you're most focused.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you can schedule those harder tasks for those times when you know you're going to be more alert.
Like hacking your own productivity.
Totally. Now, distractions. We've got to eliminate those.
I think we can all use a little reminder.
We can, for sure. So turn off your phone notifications, put it on Do Not Disturb, close unnecessary tabs on your computer, anything to create that distraction-free zone.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. And then track your progress. This is a big one.
Ooh, I like this one.
It is so motivating to see those completed Pomodoros add up. So use a notebook, a fancy app, whatever works for you.
It's like a visual reminder of how much you're getting done.
Totally.
Yeah.
And finally, stay flexible.
Okay.
The Pomodoro technique is a tool, not a rigid rule book.
So if something comes up,
Yeah,
you adjust.
you adjust. If you need a longer break,
Yeah.
you take a longer break. It's about finding what works for you.
It's about being empowered to manage your own time
Exactly.
and achieve your goals. So we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
We've talked about the science behind the Pomodoro technique,
Yep.
how it can be used in different scenarios,
Mm,
and some tips for making it work for you.
for sure.
But we've only scratched the surface.
We have. There's so much more to explore.
So much more to explore.
So much more.
Okay, so we're back and we're talking about all things Pomodoro
Yes.
and how to supercharge your productivity. But one of the things that I'm sure all of our listeners are thinking is, life doesn't always go according to plan.
Nope.
What about those interruptions? Like, you're in the groove, you're focused,
You're in the zone.
and damn.
Phone rings.
Yeah, the dog barks, the kid needs something,
Exactly.
coworker pops in.
So do we just like abandon the whole Pomodoro
Right.
and start over?
It can be really frustrating.
Totally.
Okay,
So our source material had a really good strategy for this.
they did.
It was called the Inform, Negotiate, and Schedule approach.
Yes,
Okay. I like that. It sounds very official.
it does. It's like a diplomatic mission for your productivity.
Yeah, I like it.
So let's say you're in the middle of a Pomodoro, you're working on something important, and somebody comes up to you with a question. You just politely inform them that, hey, I'm in the middle of a focused work session right now.
Okay, so it's like a can this wait?
Yeah, but like a nice can this wait.
And then you negotiate a time to talk about it. Maybe you can wait till your next break, or maybe you schedule a quick meeting for later.
Got it.
The key is to maintain control of your time.
Yeah, it's like setting those boundaries,
It is.
which I think so many of us
We all struggle with it.
really struggle with. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, speaking of focus,
Yeah.
one of the things that I thought was really fascinating about the Pomodoro technique is that it can actually help you cultivate a flow state,
Yes.
which is that like magical
Oh, right.
time melts away. You're in the zone.
Yeah, you would think that a timer would be the enemy of flow,
I would think.
but it's actually the opposite.
Interesting.
Because those structured intervals and the breaks actually help you to get into flow more easily and then to stay there longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of training your brain
You are.
to focus
Yeah.
for those periods.
That's it. And then those breaks are, like I said before, preventing mental fatigue, keeping the creative juices flowing.
So it's not just about getting things done faster.
Well-
It's about tapping into that deeper level of focus
Exactly.
and maybe even creativity.
Totally.
Now, one thing that I thought was really interesting was that
Yeah.
it's not just about productivity.
Right.
The Pomodoro technique can actually be a tool for personal growth
It can.
and self-awareness.
It really can, because as you're using it, you're tracking your progress, but you're also gathering all this data about your work habits and your patterns.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, you start to notice when you're most productive, what types of tasks drain your energy? What are your biggest distractions?
It's like becoming a scientist of your own productivity.
It is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow, I like that.
And that self-awareness is so valuable because then you can actually make changes to optimize your routine.
So it's not just about getting things done faster.
No.
It's about understanding yourself.
Absolutely.
Better as a worker.
As a worker, as a human.
As a human.
Yes.
That's cool. Now, our source material took this even further, and they talked about using the Pomodoro Technique.
Ooh, yeah. For more than just like individual tasks.
Yes.
So it's like, if we could scale it up
Exact.
to manage like bigger goals and projects.
Exactly. So instead of just writing a chapter of your novel, you could use it to manage the entire writing process.
Okay, so instead of just like cleaning the kitchen counters, it's like cleaning the whole house.
It's like cleaning the whole house.
Okay.
Or running a marathon.
Oh, wow.
Learning a language.
So you're thinking bigger.
You're thinking bigger. You're breaking down those big goals into smaller chunks.
Okay.
And then using those Pomodoros to make consistent progress.
So it's like zooming out
It is.
and using those principles
Yes.
to structure
Bigger chunks of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Now, even with the best of intentions,
Yeah.
those breaks can be really tempting
I know.
to get distracted.
It's so easy to just pick up your phone and scroll.
So, how do we make the most of them?
Yes. That's a great question.
Like, how do we make the most of those breaks? We're going to dive into that right now.
Okay, so we're back, and now we're going to talk about breaks.
Yes.
Which might seem a little counterintuitive when we're talking about productivity, but trust me,
They're essential.
they're so important.
Yes.
These breaks are like the secret sauce
They are.
that makes this whole thing work.
It's true. They're not just a luxury.
Yeah.
It's a strategic investment in your mental energy and your focus.
Yeah.
It's like recharging your batteries.
Okay, so we're talking just 5 minutes between those Pomodoros.
Yeah.
What are some things our listeners can do in those 5 minutes?
So the key is to disconnect from work completely.
Oh,
Do something that actually helps you to relax and recharge.
Easier said than done.
I know. It is.
For some of us.
Especially now when we're all so connected.
Yes. My phone is like a magnet.
I know.
What are some things that we can do?
So one strategy that I like is to physically move away from your workspace. So get up, stretch.
Yeah.
Take a quick walk around the office. Or even step outside for a few minutes.
Yeah, just to get the blood flowing.
Exactly. Yeah, like hit that reset button.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Another thing you could do is a quick mindfulness exercise.
Okay.
Even just a couple minutes of deep breathing or meditation can really help.
You know, I think I underestimate the power
I think we all do.
of deep breathing.
It's so simple, but it really works.
Okay. What about those longer breaks? We have like 15, 20 minutes.
So those are a great time to engage in activities that nourish your mind and body.
Okay, like what?
So maybe read a few pages of a book.
Okay.
Listen to a podcast. Spend some time on a hobby you enjoy.
So it's not just about resting your brain. But it's about engaging.
Engaging different parts of yourself.
Okay.
And don't forget about socializing and connecting with other people.
Oh, that's so important.
It is grab a coffee with a coworker.
Yeah.
Chat with a friend. Call your mom.
Yeah, just a little human connection.
Yeah. It does wonders for your well-being.
And you know, this kind of brings us to a bigger question.
Yeah.
What if we took this idea of breaks even further?
Ooh, I like where you're going with this.
We've been talking about breaks within the context of work or a specific task. But what if we applied these same principles to our lives as a whole?
Like scheduling life breaks.
Yeah. Like we need those breaks to prevent burnout.
We do.
And just stay,
Stay aligned.
aligned with what's important.
Yeah. So maybe it's taking a day off each week to truly unplug.
Yeah.
Maybe it's scheduling a vacation every few months. Or even just carving out a few hours each week to do something you really enjoy.
Because sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to actually take a break.
It's true. It's not all about work, work, work. It's about living a balanced life.
Absolutely. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Our deep dive into the Pomodoro Technique.
I hope you all enjoyed it.
I hope you learned something new.
I think we all did.
And that you are excited to try it out.
Yes, go set those timers.
Go set those timers. And until next time, happy Pomodoroing.